Matters with myself, Ahmed Kaji. We will be together until 9 p.m. This evening, Central African time. Really appreciate you joining us this evening. Um, as you know, this show is all about local matters, local governments heading into the local elections, which will be taking place on the 4th of November 2026. So, everything that we are expecting to take place over the next 3 to 4 months is will be featured on our show this evening, every week from 7 to 9 p.m. We will be speaking to local government officials, mayoral candidates, councillor hopefuls, civil organizations, community members, and everything else which will help you understand what's going on in and around your city, whether it be Johannesburg, Durban, Tshwane, or anywhere else around the country, not just linked to Gauteng, the Western Cape, the Eastern Cape, the Free State, across all 9 provinces here in South Africa. We really appreciate you being with us as well. It is just gone 2 minutes past 7 p.m. Central African time, and we have a packed show for you this evening. I'll be taking you through it in just a few moments' time, but we are looking forward to all of your engagements between now and the end of our show at 9 p.m. Please engage with us and interact with us across all our social media platforms. You can do that through our studio WhatsApp line, out on X, the show hashtag, Facebook, and our online streaming through our website as well. So if you would like to get through to our studio line, that's +2711 680 0355. That's 011 680 0355. And then if you would like to get in touch with WhatsApp, it's a 061 766 0355. That's +2761 766 0355. Over on X, formerly known as Twitter, you can get us through to at Salaamedia with the show hashtag local matters. Looking forward to engaging with you. If you would like to get in touch with me directly as well through that platform, it's at Ahmed Kaji. The spelling is on your screen right now. Over on Facebook, you can head over to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Salaamedia. And then if you would like to stream us through our website, it's salaamedia.com/listen live. It is on the homepage, so you don't really need to head through any of the forward slashes or anything like that. Head through to salaamedia.com and you will be able to see everything through there. Get through to the local live streaming, and I look forward to engaging in conversation with you over the next 2 hours. In terms of what's coming up in the show over the next 2 hours, we will be touching in with Salaamedia's journalist Zahid Jadwat. He's on the line at the moment. We'll be chatting to him in just a few moments about the big stories which have taken out through this week as well. And then last week we had the mayoral candidate from World One South Africa, and that theme conversations is continuing. This time here we are being speaking to the Land Party's Johannesburg mayoral candidate Ntsiki Mazwai. She is on her way to our studios and will be joining us just after 7 p.m. Central African time for a 30-minute comprehensive conversation about everything regarding her mayoral campaign, what she hopes to bring to your city, and what she is hoping to achieve. She is relatively young in the politics game, a social commentator, poet, well-known on social media channels, so it's important for us to also find out what she can bring through to our city when it comes through to service delivery and the like. Thereafter, we'll be speaking to the spokesperson at Pick It Up, Anthony Selepe. There's been a crisis with regards to waste management across the city of Johannesburg. We need to find out exactly what is going on. There has been a bit of a break with regards to refuse removal and pickups across our city. We'll just be finding out exactly what has been going on with some worker strikes or alleged worker strikes, reports of people not being allowed into their workspaces, into depots. We'll find out from Anthony exactly what is going on and what we can expect. I'm sure there will be improvements going forward from there as well. We are hoping to speak to Nana Khatebe from the Gauteng EMS, Tshwane EMS. They are currently on their way to a shack fire in and around the province. So that is still to be confirmed. We're hoping to touch base with her. But yeah, we will be keeping you informed as to what will be taking place regarding that interview as well. And then just after 8:30, we do know that service delivery is important, but access is just as important as well. And we just like to find out that can local government deliver sports for all? And this is in light of the Special Olympics, a documentary called Catching the Wind that had premiered in Rosebank last week. And we just want to find out, is local government here in Johannesburg and across the country doing everything that they can do to ensure that athletes with intellectual disabilities have appropriate and adequate supply, at least adequate access to these sports facilities, which ideally government should be providing. We'll be speaking to Angela Smith, the CEO of Special Olympics South Africa, to find out what her views are as well. And then wrapping up the show between quarter to nine and 9 p.m., we will be speaking to Kevin Marks Parker from the Better Kingsington Group. They've been improving their community, as we would like to also ensure that, as difficult as life is at the moment regarding service delivery in the province, there is people who are trying to make a difference, and Kevin Marks Park and the rest of the Better Kingsington Group are carrying that out. So we'll be chatting to all of these people and more over the next 2 hours or so. Please engage with us on our social media platforms. We'd love to hear all about your thoughts, what you would like to find out regarding the city of Johannesburg, from regards to Pick It Up and everything in between. So please get in touch with us. Like I had mentioned, those contact details at Salaamedia on X. You can head over to facebook.com/Salaamedia. Get in touch with us on WhatsApp. That's +2761 766 0355. Really looking forward to engaging in those conversations with you as well. Seeing as though we've just gone through 7 minutes past 7 p.m. Central African time here on Salaamedia. Let's get the show on the road. We did say we will be speaking to Mohammed Zahid Jadwat from our Salaamedia journalist team, the report team over here, doing some amazing work. And he's been looking out for all of the big stories coming out of the city and the country this past week. Mohammed Zahid Jadwat, Jazakallah for joining us this evening. Really appreciate it.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a pleasure to join you this evening. I think it's a rather frigid evening out here in Johannesburg.
Yeah, exceptionally cold. I think everyone across the province is feeling the chill. And yeah, we are really hoping that local government at this point in time can afford some services and some help to those who really need it at this time, the homeless and the poor as well. But I think most importantly, let's discuss some of the big hitters from this week. You had said it was the TA election manifesto launch over the past weekend. You can take me through that.
Yes, of course. Just before I get to that, though, I will, following up from our last conversation last week. So we've had the IEC declare the Minister of Cooperative Governance, in fact, he gazetted the election date, and so that then kicked off the election calendar. So we're officially in an election season, and so things are expected to heat up as we move forward in the next few months. It's less than 100 days to go until the elections. So, of course, one of those developments in the weekend was that the Democratic Alliance launched their manifesto. And that took place in Johannesburg at the Mary Fitzgerald Square, just outside of the CBD. It was attended by the Democratic Alliance's federal leader, Jordan Hill Lewis, who delivered the keynote address, as well as senior party figures and the mayoral candidate, Helen Ziller. Solim Simanga was there as well, and together with thousands of party members, activists, and supporters from across Gauteng and surrounding regions.
What do you think was the biggest takeaways then from that manifesto launch? I'm sure there's been multiple policies which we have been looking at. What was the big thing that many people could think about regarding the DA and whether they should be voting for them?
Yes, of course. So I think to clarify for the listeners, when it comes to a municipal election, because I think let's just get this out of the way. A lot of people have been asking me, why do we have elections? Didn't we just go to an election 2 years ago? And aren't elections supposed to take place every 5 years? So yes, elections do take place every 5 years, but we do have what we call local government elections and then national and provincial elections. So the national and provincial elections tend to take place simultaneously, and those are the ones that took place in 2024. Now, the one that is taking place this year is a municipal election happening across the country in various municipalities. And so the manifestos that we see coming out that the parties have been publishing, they're not necessarily to do with national policies like taxes and so on. These policy manifestos speak directly to the realities of citizens, residents on the ground. So we're talking about things to do with electricity, with water, with roads, those kind of services, basic services that you encounter at a local level on a day-to-day basis in your ward, your community, your city, and so on. So the Democratic Alliance's manifesto is very much in keeping with this, and under the theme of working for all. So an attempt to shift away from political promises to practical, functional government and basic service delivery. And we know that that message, of course, is intended to counter a narrative, that narrative being that the Democratic Alliance works only for a certain group of people and the rest not so much. So the core guarantees that I picked up in that manifesto launch was that they're promising a government that you can trust. They want an end to cadre deployment. They want people to be put into positions purely on the basis of competence and merit. They also want enforcement of accountability for corruption. And then the other thing that they also emphasized was that people should receive services that they can rely on. And this means ring fencing revenue so that water and electricity fees, for example, go directly back into maintaining that infrastructure, pipes, cables, and substations, and so on, and so that you can avoid a situation like we had earlier on today in my area, as well as in a number of southern suburbs of Johannesburg. I think Salaamedia studios were affected as well, where we didn't have electricity today on such a cold day, and you have a basic service like electricity going away. So they promised to then fix that by allowing the private sector to compete and to help run municipal services while keeping pricing and oversight under city control. And finally, they then promised communities where people can get ahead. So they're looking at cutting business red tape. They're looking at supporting informal traders with spaces to trade, and then hopefully devolving more authority to local municipal police so that we can tackle crime more directly on the ground, empowering municipalities to be able to do that, which they cannot do at the moment.
I'm going to move things along now to the opposition party, or the direct opposition, in a very short amount of time. You can maybe just take me through a new survey which is putting the ANC on the back foot. Perhaps you can tell me how much and to what reasons.
Yes, so interestingly, and I think we're going to see a lot more of this in coming months, where we have the Social Research Foundation. They've been doing a number of surveys quite consistently, and the picture that's emerging is that the ANC definitely is in a state of decline. It's really not recovering from the losses that it sustained in 2024, and there's no indication that this is going to improve come 4th of November 2026. And on a national scale, if we're looking at the picture, the DA is just 7 percentage points behind the ANC. I think the ANC is sitting somewhere at around 34%. And if we zoom in and come and look at Johannesburg as an example, it's actually quite an interesting situation where you have the DA in the lead with around 40-something% of support versus the ANC's 17%. So almost, I think, more than double the support that the ANC has at the moment, which places the Democratic Alliance in quite a comfortable position leading up to the elections. But of course, these are surveys. They're just based on samples, and we cannot reliably predict the outcome of the elections. It will, of course, shift as time goes by, but it's interesting to see where political parties stand at the moment.
Mohammed Zahid Jadwat, Jazakallah so much for joining us here on Local Matters with myself, Ahmed Kaji. We look forward to speaking to you next week, same time, same place. Really appreciate your time this evening.
As do I. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's Zahid Jadwat, one of the Salaamedia reporters, joining us, just giving us his big stories over the last week. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be having our conversation with the Johannesburg mayoral candidate, Ntike Mazwai, from the Land Party. We're looking forward to that conversation. Please stay tuned here to Salaamedia.